Hello students, welcome to electrochemistry part 6. In this part, you are going to learn Faraday's second law of electrolysis and we are going to solve some numerical questions based on Faraday's first law of electrolysis and second law of electrolysis. Okay, first let us see Faraday's second law of electrolysis. Consider two electrolytic cells. In first electrolytic cell, we have taken silver nitrate solution and we have dipped two silver electrodes. In a second electrolytic cell, we have taken copper sulfate solution and we dipped two copper electrodes. Both these electrolytic cells are connected in series to the external source of battery. So automatically the quantity of electricity flowing through these two electrolytic cells are equal. Okay. Now when we pass electric current, what happens? Copper ion from copper sulfate attracted by the cathode undergoes reduction. Reduction means gains electrons, Cu2 plus ion reduced to Cu and deposited on the copper electrode. Here it is deposited. In this electrolytic cell, Ag plus ion from the solution undergoes reduction, means gains electrons and deposited on the silver electrode. The question is how much silver that deposits here, how much copper that deposits here depends on what? Dear students, that depends on equivalent mass. How much copper deposits, that depends on equivalent mass of copper. How much silver deposits, that depends on equivalent mass of silver. That itself is a Faraday's second law of electrolysis. Okay, the amount of different substances liberated, here the amount of silver, here amount of copper, by passing same quantity of electricity through different electrolytic solutions are directly proportional to the equivalent mass, their respective equivalent mass. Here equivalent mass of silver in the first cell, here it is equivalent mass of copper. So let us see that statement. The amount of different substances liberated by passing same quantity of electricity through different electrolytic solutions, here solution 1, solution 2, are directly proportional to their chemical equivalent mass or equivalent weight. I hope that this second law is clear to you. Let us write mathematically. Amount of silver deposited is directly proportional to what, students? Equivalent mass of silver. Similarly, amount of copper deposited is directly proportional to what? Equivalent mass of copper. Okay, now let us take the ratio of these two. This amount of silver deposited divided by amount of copper deposited. So automatically in the right hand side I can write equivalent mass of silver divided by equivalent mass of copper. So let me write that. Here amount of silver deposited by amount of copper, here equivalent mass of silver by equivalent mass of copper. So let us do small rearrangement. Let us take this quantity in the denominator of left hand side. So if I do that, then amount of silver deposited by equivalent mass of silver. So in the place of amount I can write even mass also. Mass of copper divided by equivalent mass of copper. So in general, instead of silver and copper, let me write amount of A deposited divided by equivalent mass of A and amount of B deposited divided by equivalent mass of B. So that is a mathematical form of Faraday's second law of electrolysis. Okay. Now let us solve some numerical questions based on Faraday's first law and second law of electrolysis. Okay, first one. The question is here, how much charge? So whenever we say charge in electrochemistry, remember student, it is in terms of coulombs, is required for the following reactions to convert 1 mole of Al3 plus ions to solid Al, to convert 1 mole of Cu ions to Cu, to convert 1 mole of permanganate ions to, that is KMnO4 minus ions to Mn2 plus ions. So let us solve one by one. So Al3 plus ion, let us take first one. You know that Al3 plus ion requires how many electrons? 3 electrons to convert Al. But they told 1 mole. So automatically 1 mole of Al3 requires 3 moles of electrons to form 1 mole of aluminum. So you know students, 1 mole of electrons means what is the charge carried by 1 mole of electrons. Recall in last part of electrochemistry I taught you it is 96,500 coulombs approximately. So 3 moles means I have to multiply by 3. If I do that, then I am going to get 2,89,500 coulombs charge required. Okay, second one, Cu2 plus ion requires 2 electrons to convert Cu. 1 mole of Cu2 plus requires 2 moles of electrons to convert 1 mole of Cu. So 2 moles of electrons means, students, it should be multiplied by which one? 96,500 coulombs should be multiplied by 2. So if I do that, then I am going to get 1,93,000 coulombs. That is the answer. Okay. The last one is a tricky one. MnO4 minus 2 Mn2 plus ion. Here you don't know directly what is the charge or oxidation number of Mn. That you have to find out. Okay. Recall last year redox reactions. In that one you studied how to calculate the oxidation number. Okay. Like this we can calculate Mn. For that we have to find out oxidation number. Let it be X. Okay, and the 4 oxygens are there. You know, charge carried by oxygen is -2. So overall charge on this ion is -1. So that's why it is equal to -1. See, this indicates overall charge on the ion. Okay, overall charge on the ion is -1. So if I solve this, I end with x equal to 7. That indicates that Mn present in +7 converted to +2. To convert from +7 to +2, it requires how many electrons, students? 5 electrons, obviously. So 5 moles of electrons. So 5 moles means 5 into 96,500 coulombs. Okay. So if I do that, 5 into 96,500 coulombs, then I end with this answer 4,82,500 coulombs. Students, this type of questions are important in first main of your annual exam question paper. That is 1 mark part. In that one, usually they ask 1 mark questions of this type. So that's why practice it thoroughly. Now let us move to the second question. So question is here, how much electricity in terms of Faraday is required to produce 20 gram of calcium from molten calcium chloride, that is the first one. 40 gram of aluminium from molten Al2O3. Okay. Yes, let us solve that. We want to get a 20 gram of calcium from calcium chloride. Okay, let us solve that. So when calcium chloride ionizes, we get Ca2 plus and 2 Cl minus ions. So 1 mole of Ca2 plus requires 2 moles of electrons to convert Ca. So Ca, what is the atomic mass of Ca? That is 40 gram. So 2 moles of electrons, in other words, I can say that deposit 1 mole of calcium, that is nothing but 40 grams. So very simple it is, students. 2 moles of electrons deposits 1 mole of calcium, that is equal to 40 gram. Next, what, students? Simple, it is just a cross multiplication. To deposit 40 gram of calcium, I require 2 moles of electrons. If that is the case, then to deposit 20 grams of calcium, I required how many moles of electrons? And once I get mole, automatically I can convert that one into current in coulombs or in terms of Faraday. So here how much they asked? So let us write both. In terms of Faraday they told, okay. So 1 mole. So 1 mole of electrons carry charge. What is that equal to? 96,500 coulombs, or that is also called as 1 Faraday. Hence, charge required to convert 1 mole of calcium chloride to deposit 20 gram of calcium is 96,500 coulombs or 1 Faraday. Okay, let us see the second one. I hope that you can do the second one. Al3 plus ion is present here. Al3 plus ion is present here. Okay. Al3 plus requires how many electrons to convert Al? It requires 3 moles of electrons. Okay, and to deposit 1 mole of aluminium. What is the atomic mass of aluminium? 27 gram. But they want 40 gram. So to deposit 40 gram, how much it is required? Just cross multiplication. If I do that, 40 into 3 divided by 27. So I end with 4.44 moles. So you know 1 mole of electrons means it is 1 Faraday. So automatically 4.44 mole means it is that much Faradays only. Now let us see the next question. A solution of nickel nitrate is electrolyzed between platinum electrodes using a current of 5 amperes for 20 minutes. What mass of nickel is deposited at the cathode? Even they given atomic mass of nickel also. Okay, let us write down what they given. They given current in amperes, students. I is equal to 5 amperes and time in minutes. Students, remember in electrochemistry, whenever they give time in hours or minutes, we have to convert that one into seconds only. So 20 minutes means 20 into 60, that is 1200 seconds. Okay, these two things we have. What they asked us to calculate, mass or amount of nickel deposited. Okay, so I can write the formula. I can use the formula or directly even I can calculate. So here Q is equal to IT I can use. So I 5 amperes, T is 1200 seconds. So if I multiply, then I'm going to get 96, I'm going to get 6000 coulombs. Let us use the formula Q is equal to IT. So when I use that, I can substitute I 5 amperes and time 1200 seconds. Okay, like this. If I multiply that, I end with 6000 coulombs. Okay, now we know that nickel 2 plus ion that requires 2 moles of electrons to form 1 mole of nickel. So 1 mole of nickel means it is 58.70 grams of nickel that is going to deposit. Okay, let me write down that. So 2 moles of electrons, that means 2 into 96,500 coulombs is going to deposit 58.70 grams of nickel. If that is the case, then 6,000 coulombs is going to deposit how much nickel. So that we have to do it. So just a cross multiplication, 6,000 into 58.70 divided by 2 into 96,500 coulombs. So if I do that, then I end with the answer that is equal to 1.824 grams. Okay. Even I can solve this by using directly the formula W is equal to ZIT, and Z means it is equivalent mass divided by 96,500 coulombs. Here it is equivalent mass of nickel divided by 96,500 coulombs. And how to find out equivalent mass of nickel, students? It is atomic mass divided by charge. So here we have 29.35. So let us write the formula. W is equal to equivalent mass of nickel divided by 96,500 into I into T. So I, once again, students, 5 amperes. T is 1200 seconds and equivalent mass is 29.35. Let us substitute all these values. If I do that, then I end with once again same answer, 1.8248 grams. I hope that you people understood this. Now let us see the last problem. 3 electrolytic cells I have, A, B, C, containing solution of zinc sulfate, silver nitrate and copper sulfate respectively, and they are connected in series. It indicates that same quantity of electricity is passing through all 3 electrolytic solutions. A steady current of 1.5 amperes was passed through them until 1.45 gram of silver deposits, okay, at the cathode of the cell. So the question is, how long did the current flow? Okay, that we have to find out. We have to find out time. What mass of copper and zinc are deposited? That also we have to find out. They given atomic masses of copper, zinc and silver respectively. So this question has the 2 parts. First we have to find out how long current flows. That means we have to find out T. Okay. During deposition of this 1.45 gram of silver, how long current flows? T we have to find out. And if silver deposits 1.45 grams, then how much copper and zinc is going to deposit, that we have to solve. Okay, let us see one by one. So let us try to understand this question thoroughly. I have three electrolytic solutions. Okay, zinc sulfate, silver nitrate, and copper sulfate respectively. So we are going to dip the electrodes. Okay, and they are connected in series so that the same quantity of electricity passes through them, like this. Okay, now at the cathode here zinc is deposited, at the cathode here silver is deposited, at the cathode here copper is deposited. They given only one value, that is 1.45 gram of silver is deposited, and they pass a current that is 1.5 amperes. Okay, now let us solve this. Silver they given Ag plus takes 1 electrons to convert Ag. So 1 electron means 1 mole of electrons, 96,500 coulombs, that deposit 108 grams of silver. You can use the formula W is equal to equivalent mass of silver divided by 96,500 coulombs into I into T. So you know equivalent mass of silver is 108 only, because its charge is plus 1. So equivalent mass of silver is 108 divided by 96,500 coulombs. I already given 1.5 amperes. Time they asked us to calculate. Mass of silver deposited, they told 1.45. So if I solve that, then I end with the value T 863.73 seconds. This is the first part that we solved by using Faraday's first law. Now second part, let us solve by using Faraday's second law. How to solve that? Amount of silver deposited divided by equivalent mass of silver, that is equal to amount of copper deposited divided by equivalent mass of copper. Like that, let us solve. So this is the formula, amount of silver deposited divided by equivalent mass of silver, that is equal to mass of copper deposited divided by equivalent mass of copper. How to find out equivalent mass of copper, students? Its atomic mass is given, you know charge of copper, it is plus 2, so divide that one by 2, you get equivalent mass of copper. You know this quantity, mass of silver deposited you know, and even you know equivalent mass of silver. So three things are known here, last one you can find out easily. So 1.45, that is the mass of silver deposited, 108 is the equivalent mass of silver, and equivalent mass of copper is 31.8. I told how to get it. So its atomic mass divided by 2. So when I solve this, I end with 0.4269 grams. Similarly, I can get mass or amount of zinc deposited. Okay, so 1.45 divided by 108, and equivalent mass of zinc, how to get it? Atomic mass of zinc divided by 2, because zinc also carries a charge that is plus 2. So when I solve this, I end with 0.4338 grams. I hope that you understood. Okay. Thank you, students.